Today I'm going to go over so just some basic information about lead status, lead type, and hashtags. I know those are little things, but they're very helpful in organizing. I know that you guys are pretty organized, but this will help even more because they've also given us the marketing coordinator access to something called Cole Realty Resource, which is in Whiteford One.
Oh yeah,
I'm able to now
yeah.
download lists based on neighborhoods and give them to you guys to import into your CRMs. So, but when you start importing large lists, you want to keep it organized. You want to make sure that they're in the right status, that they have a hashtag associated with them. Otherwise they kind of get lost in the shuffle, and then you're kind of like, oh, who are they? Like, why do I have them? And then you delete them, and then possibly deleting somebody good. So let me share my screen. I had to restart my whole computer, so I have nothing open. Okay, so I'm going to open up my Smart CRM, and I'm going to open up a contact. Okay, so within the contact screen, here's the person's name, but here underneath in the second bar, you have a status, a type of person. So the status is, I'm going to bring up another, hold on, let me bring up something else real quick before I do this. I just wanted to show you the status definitions, because they actually do have a whole article on statuses.
Let me know when you're on that. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
I'm recording it too, so.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Mhm.
This stupid
Okay.
window.
So here's how the statuses are defined within kvCORE. So sphere makes sense. It's people you know, or people who may or may not be interested. Friends and family, people you've done business with, people that are going to refer you business, people that you want to keep in contact with. Then new lead is someone who has signed up on your website, or you have added in that are brand new to your system, but you are working with them. It can be a little bit similar to active lead, and that's someone who is actively searching for a list or wanting to list their house. And then a client is obviously somebody who you've already started their paperwork and you're showing homes. Contract is normally a client that you have who has already entered into a formal agreement with you, whether it's the listing agreement or the buying agreement. And then close is obviously after everything is over. But you don't want to delete them out of your system because it's somebody that you might want to keep in contact with in the future. And then archive is their version of delete. So, you can't actually delete a person. It for whatever reason, it just doesn't let you as an agent. As an admin, I can delete some people, but for the most part, I just don't do that. I just don't archive them. Make it easier. You never know if they're going to, because once a person is archived in your system, if they ever decide to pop back onto your website, they go back into an active lead status automatically. So you never know. Somebody who you kind of written off, that is, they're done. They don't want to move. They don't want to buy a house. They potentially might change their mind. You never know. So those are the 7 types of lead statuses. I'm going to go back into that. Okay. So I here have myself as a client, and then you have 5 different types. So you potentially have a buyer and or a seller. This person also might be a renter. Then there's a vendor, so somebody that you might use for home staging, or somebody that you use for mold remediation, whatever it is. Somebody that you want to have in your system, and you don't want to have to continuously look at your cell phone to find their number. And then you have agents. So this is something that I've kind of been promoting to some listing agents recently, that they need to be promoting business to business. So working with your own kind, sending information to other agents that potentially might have a buyer for your listing, or vice versa. If you have a buyer and promoting it out there to agents that you have a buyer looking for a specific type of house, it's nothing saying that you can't email them. It's good to have kind of a list of people that you've done business with or people or I actually have access now to RE Datum, which you can pull list of agents, actually Brandex as well, not just Weichert, which is nice. So you would want to obviously make sure that they were tagged as an agent, because you don't want them to get mixed up with your buyers and sellers.
So
any questions on those two items?
yes.
Yeah,
so because pretty much all the contacts in my phone that I have are Weichert agents, they are clicked in over here. I group them under the agent. Do I also need to hashtag them or not?
So right, so that's good segue into hashtags. So hashtags is their way of grouping people together, a label beyond the lead type or lead status. Yeah, I would suggest hashtagging them as well. But obviously, if you're going to use hashtags, you want to keep track of what hashtags you're using in your system.
Yeah.
This way, you don't have to wait. What did I hashtag them as? I can't remember. I would definitely suggest hashtagging. Using 15, 20 hashtags specifically to your system. So if you want to do your 20 agents that you have in there are Weichert agents, hashtag them Weichert agent.
Yeah.
Just to decipher them. Having them as the agent status is a good start, but potentially you have an exclusive that you can only market to Weichert agents. You're going to want to be able to decipher who's a Weichert agent and who's not, because you don't want to mess with that, right? You don't want to get yourself in trouble by going to a non-Weichert agent, right? So, I definitely suggest, the more the hashtags, the better. The more you use, the better. I mean, there's no limit on how many you can put per person. I I suggest hashtagging all types of contacts. It doesn't hurt because you're the only one who sees those hashtags, right? So you can put anything you want, looking for a colonial, they will only live in non-septic, they'll only live in Morris Plains. You want to make sure that, you give yourself as much information as possible, because we're hoping that you're going to be so busy that you're going to need this information to, bring up, when you're speaking to a person. So you do remember. You can obviously put notes in as well. But the hashtags, I think, are very, very, I don't suggest putting any contact in without at least one or more hashtags. Obviously it's more beneficial for you. And then you can obviously group and do mass emails based on hashtag, which is an added benefit of hashtagging.
Do you suggest, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but this is the first year, would you suggest doing a 2020 and then the next year doing 2021 just so you have them by year? Or is that, I don't know if anybody's used that for anything.
I mean, I think if it makes sense to your people, yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, obviously they're always going to have their timeline in here, so you'll be able to see what happened with them.
Right.
And well, here it doesn't say the year, but
it might
when you do an open house and you have them come in to sign in, or you sign them later on after when they give you any information. I do the open house, hashtag open house, address of the house plus the date. Because I might be doing the same open house 2 or 3 times. So it goes, 20 Henning, then whatever, Danville 20 Henning, blah, blah, blah. And then I just do the same hashtag and add another date. So I know that, and then later on I can track if they, if they come back, if they saw it, if they search it again or not, it shows.
And that's a good idea too. If it's associated with an event, sure, it can't hurt to put the full date and year.
It's just, I know it looks silly because it's a bunch of long, numbers.
If it makes sense to you though, again, you're the only one who sees it. nobody else is going to see that information. It's really your labeling. It's the way you want it to look. It's the way you
Right.
it groups together in your mind. But just as a side note for that, so if you guys use the Open House app, I don't know if you guys are using that, the My Weichert Open House app.
What did they say was wrong with that?
It's been problematic.
There's been reports of that it's not syncing 100%, but it's not a lot of reports on it. So again, how many people are using it is another thing, but there's been a couple of agents across the company, not specifically on our office, that have reported some syncing issues. Again, you know, always, especially for the people who walk through your open house that are super serious, you definitely need to write that down as well. I know the open house app is supposed to take away from, you know, you're supposed to not have to write it down anymore, but you know, the super interested buyers, I definitely think is worthy of just, you know, a post-it note to yourself. But as far as the open house app goes, when it does work 100% and it's good to go, when it syncs with when it syncs with your actual CRM, it automatically brings the person in with a hashtag of the property address and the date. So exactly what you're doing, Thomas, it will do that for you if you're using the open house app. It is a long hashtag. It will be like open house 77 Henning.
Yeah, so I do OP 70 and the date.
Yeah, the date. And the date is backwards, like it starts with the year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you have to go there, the 2020 and the,
like,
I'm used to European way. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like the other type of calendar, you know, like it does the year first, I guess. But you can also add a hashtag after they're in their CRM, like if you want to do something else in addition to that. But that cool thing is about that open house app, it will automatically hashtag your leads for you. And actually, when you're setting up the open house in the app, it asks you what you want it to be hashtagged.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the second hashtag. The first hashtag is always going to be that open house 77 Henning, Denville with the date. It's always going to have that whether you tell it to or not, which is nice. So that's hashtags. So the way hashtags are used, and I think just lead statuses and hashtags and lead types in general are really, really, it's really, really good to have those, because if you're going to do a filter on your CRM and you're going to use the mass email or mass text buttons here, you definitely want to make sure that you have those hashtags and those lead statuses assigned correctly, because if you go into filter, you can filter by the type or you can filter by the hashtag. So hashtag is under lead details. And you can just.
How did you get to that again?
Sorry. So it's at the top here.
Oh, there.
Filter. Yep. So you can, so filters is another thing that I can go over real quick, because it's good to have, especially when you have all that other information good to go. Now, why did you do that? This is the reason why you did that. You did that so you can filter down the road, and if you wanted to do a mass email, a mass text, or some kind of campaign based on hashtag, you can do that. So you can leave all these clicked off. You can just choose by a hashtag or just by a lead type if you wanted. So say you only wanted to promote to agents.
Right.
So that was your goal right now. So you're going to click agent and you click apply filter. So I don't have anybody. I don't have any agents in my system.
Right.
So I'm going to clear filter. Click filter again. Say I wanted to do somebody based on hashtag. Let's see if I have anybody in Denville. Don't forget, I'm an admin, so I don't have a lot of people. So I have nobody.
That makes sense.
But I'm not an agent, so let's just do something like buyer. I should have buyers, right? Okay, so I'm showing that I have 10 people that are in the buyer. And the only reason I'm seeing those is because you guys have buyers, right? and you guys have some leads that have come in that are buyers. So say if I wanted to always use the same filter again and again, say I don't want to have to keep going back in and clicking buyer and finding that out, I can actually click a save filter if I wanted to use a filter over and over. So once you apply the filter, you go back into filters and you click save filter and you can name it. Save. So now it's in the save filter. And if you want to be able to see your save filters, you have to go back in a third time to the filters. And you click on the little gear.
Okay.
And it's going to, I have to move us. It's going to show you the few filters that I have already saved. And what you're going to want to do is click it on and click save. And now it's going to show you at the top that you have a filter called buyers. And if you ever want to use it again, you could just click.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So if you ever wanted to just, have something that you utilize very often, so you don't have to, especially if you have something that's very, very specific and you don't want to have to remember each thing to toggle on or off. This way you have it already saved, which is a nice thing. So I have a few filters saved. I have Weichert.com leads and new leads. If you wanted to show all of those at the top, you just click save, and then it will show you the 4 or 5, any kind of filters that you've already used and saved. So if I wanted to just
do that
filter by Weichert.com, I could do that. If I wanted to do just by new lead, I could do that. So it's just automatically there, which is nice.
I like that.
Yeah. So always when you go into your CRM and you're looking for somebody in particular, before you think that they're deleted or not, or for whatever reason not there, just make sure you have no filters on. Because sometimes if you're looking for somebody in particular, their name won't come up if you have a filter already applied. So you just gotta make sure that you have no filters applied. And then you can just clear filters. When you clear filters and nothing's applied, the filter button will be gray. So this is showing all.
Everything.
Yep. Make sure that there's no search too.
Cool.
Yeah. You have any questions about any of that stuff?
No, I have to get.
You have nothing?
No.
How did you guys, were you guys on the meeting on Wednesday? Did you see that new template that is available for you guys to utilize? I think it's a really nice, it's called New Listing Template. So let me show you how to use it real quick. I don't want to let you guys go yet because we're only on 25 minutes here. Okay. So you go into, so say you wanted to email a new listing just to one person, say. You would could click on the person's name and you can say send email. Oops, mass email. I'm only going to do it to one person, just to myself. What you would want to do is you're going to, in the template section here, you can also CC somebody or BCC somebody if you needed to, but in the template section, you want to put in the name of the template that you want to utilize. So this is called New Listing. It's already made for us, which is nice. So this is what it looks like. So this is just the guts of it. It's obviously going to automatically fill.
Oh, I like this.
So this is going to be filled in on the end at the end user. Right now it's just showing you what those sections are called. It doesn't automatically show you what your header looks like because these are utilized by everybody across the company. So it will automatically fill in your agent header because you're in your My Weichert account, right? This just listed, you can change this if you wanted. You want to put the MLS ID number in here.
Right.
So let me go grab an MLS ID number. Let's see. I want to show something good. this one. So you grab the MLS ID, which is here. You paste it into here. You won't see anything change, but the template knows to grab the first image that is associated with this MLS. It will grab the address. It will grab whatever description is in the MLS. There will be a button here, a very small button that says view listing. Then it will also show the next 3 photos that are on the MLS of that home. Then it's going to add in your photo, your name and cell, and your email. Then it's also going to add a button that says see my listings. Even if you don't have any listings, this button will take the user to your website just to see listings in general. So it doesn't get away from you. All of this stuff is nothing that you have to edit. So at this point, you can utilize it. You can obviously change it if you don't like it for your one-time use, but you can utilize this and actually send this as a group email, a mass email, which is nice. You could actually do a preview here if you wanted. It doesn't look good, the preview. So let's not even bother.
So when
I'm just gonna send it. I'll send it to myself and then you can see what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to myself right now. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So I forget what email that is.
That's really cool.
Email.
I like that one.
Yeah, this is cool. They made it.
Different.
Okay. So here's the email. This is what it looks. So it says it's just listed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's the photo. There's the address. It gives you the description that's on the MLS. It's again that view listing button. Then it's the next 3 images. For some reason, this person had put 2 of the same images for whatever reason. And then the 3rd image. And then
No, they're
it
different.
automatically populates your photo, your name, cell phone, email. And then again, if the person clicks see my listings or view listings, it takes them to my website. Okay, so my face is following them around. Even though I'm not the listing agent, I become a potential buying agent at that point. Okay, it doesn't even say who the listing agent is, just says it's Weichert, which is nice. So the person is not going to just try to find the listing agent, they're just going to contact you, which is nice.
That is nice.
So also if you click see my listings, it's still going to stick on your website. It's just going to be your main page. So again, all of these emails that you send out through your CRM are always going to stick to you. It's, you know, you're glued to the person. It always keeps them all on your website, so you don't lose them. And that's, you know, a really good part about this. So that's,
I like that.
So again, that email template is called New Listing. It's very easy to find. You just click New Listing. It's the only one that's called New Listing. And all you literally have to do is add in the MLS number and you make sure you're sending it to who you want it to send to. And like I said, with every email template that's in this system, email it to yourself first, just to make sure it works. You know, make sure that there's no funky stuff happening with it. You want it to look good on when it goes to your contact list. But you can send it out in mass if you wanted.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so that's a good extra nice thing. Hi, Jerry.
Hey guys,
How are
sorry
you?
I'm late. I was on the phone, and then when I realized it was after, I tried to find
It's
the
okay.
email.
I knew that's not like you to not show. I knew something happens. I'm recording it anyway, so I'll send you what we went over. We just went over lead status, lead type, and hashtagging.
Okay.
And I just kind of went through a new template that Weichert rolled out that I actually went over yesterday as well during the morning meeting. So
okay.
you know, it's just an extra thing. And then I also went over, have you guys looked at that Cole Resources?
I have. I've used Cold Resources
okay.
before, and it's really cool because you can find the neighborhood and the town,
Yeah, Cole's
streets,
great.
all the email addresses, all the telephone numbers.
Yeah. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, I did a test on my neighborhood the other day when I was able to finally get access to it as a market, because it's usually only for real estate agents, but I'm not an agent. But they actually gave me access to it so I could pull lists for you guys if you need to. If you don't have the time or you don't have the know-how, I can certainly help show you, or I can just do it.
Yeah, it's
So
great
it's
for
not perfect though.
farm.
I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't have everybody's email address. It doesn't have everybody's
Right.
cell phone, but it does have
And they have-
everybody's address. And
Yeah, it's great. It's great for farming. It's great for when you're doing an
Really
open house. You want to find the houses that are nearby. It's great for a lot of things.
Yeah, I like Cole.
yeah. So
It amazed me the first time I went on there. All
Yeah.
that information. Yeah.
again, it's not 100% perfect, but again, make sure if you are going to use it and you are going to import contacts into your CRM, or even this singly typing them in, make sure they're hashtags. Make sure
Okay.
they're hashtags, otherwise they just get lost. They will get, lost in the shuffle. You won't know who they are. You want to make sure they're deciphered between who you really, who you know and who you don't.
Mhm.
So it's a really great extra thing that you guys can utilize. So that's really all I had for today. Is there, Jerry, do you have any, are you having any issues logging in,
No.
regularly?
No, I need to do it more, but I'm not having any issues with it. I'm gonna start a smart campaign. I know I was gonna do that last week and I didn't get a chance, but I'm gonna start a couple of smart campaigns this week, or actually today,
Okay.
and see how they work out. I just gotta email everything to myself. I have to remind myself to check it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the smart campaigns are good, but yeah, you definitely need to check them. The templates, utilize the templates as well. You don't need to specifically, do a campaign for every single person. Maybe some people would be just worthy having a one-off email with
Yeah.
questions, just to reintroduce yourself to people. I think
Yeah, I like to do it for people who aren't necessarily close by, so I can give them information from the MLS that's going on, wherever they're at. Sometimes I'm not checking,
Mhm.
and the just listed can hit them just as quickly as they hit me. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
those alerts
we have a
are-
lot of open houses this weekend. Missy is sending out either Thursday afternoon or Friday mornings. I'm making her a template every week with the open houses that are coming up for the following weekend.
that one looked really nice, the last one. It
Okay,
was good.
thanks. Yeah, so it's good to have those go out too. So that's another thing that we're working on behind the scenes here. But that's really all I had. I just want to, hit it home that you guys need to be logging in as often as possible. I know I sound like a broken record.
No,
But,
that's okay.
that's what they're looking at, for my business specifically. I mean, and Missy, Missy and I chat about this all the time. I want to make sure that you guys realize the value of this, and you are utilizing it, especially because we are going to need it down the road for everything. But that's all I have. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go. Feel free to reach
Thank
out.
you, Stephanie.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Feel free to reach out if you need anything else. Okay, guys?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Take care. Have a good day.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.